Hey, what's going on, my friend out there on the internet? Welcome to the video. It's Brando Linick here. You're looking for how to start your own tax preparation business. I love this search, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to share with you principles, concepts, questions you need to ask, things you need to be aware of, as well as some tips and pointers that I've used just over the last 13 months now to create a full-time income business, my primary business, just over the last 13 months working part-time. So you're going to want to know this stuff, you're going to want to pay close attention. Now, to kick off the conversation, when it comes to learning how to start your own tax preparation business, there's a lot of different ways to approach it. It's a simple business to actually get started with because all you're doing is actually filing people's taxes for them to get a tax return, or you can do major corporation taxes every quarter, alright? And there's different ways you can do it, but the biggest fundamental thing you should do is actually figure out what type of business you want to deal with. Do you want to deal with everything at once? You want to deal with individuals, small businesses, corporations, or do you just want to deal with individuals, or do you just want to deal with corporations and small businesses? So figuring out your business is the first most important part. From that point, you got to find office space. You have to find space to operate under. You can do this a lot of different ways as well. You could buy, you could lease, you could finance. I would suggest that you don't get in debt, in serious debt, if you want to start a tax preparation business. So I wouldn't suggest that you go and finance or lease out a place. Buy a place is probably the most ideal thing if you have some money set aside. If you don't, renting. You could rent some space out. The idea is you need a place to operate where you can hire, maybe 1 or 2 employees just to get things going and cover some things while you go out there and you build the business. You go build relationships with people because it's a relationship built business. In order to get customers and clientele, you can have, the best business, best tax preparation services in the world, but if nobody knows who you are and you're not building that clientele, chances of you making money is nowhere, alright? And it's just something you need to be aware of. And also, if you can't afford to bring on employees right away, if you're working the business yourself, that means you're going to limit your business the amount of money you can make. Meaning if you're sick, meaning if things come up for you, your business is going to stop because of that. Because if you're sick, you can't work on your business. If you can't work on your business, your money stops. So just, things to be aware of, questions to ask. But that said, after you register the business, after you get a business license, it really is as simple as finding a place, a spot, deciding if you're going to lease it, rent it, buy it, alright? Then deciding what type of equipment and supplies you're going to need. Okay, looking at competitors is probably the best way you could do that. It's not going to, you're honestly just going to need telephones or computers. That's probably pretty much it, and printing paper and printers and all that. But it's nothing too extravagant. But you got to have equipment and supplies down. Asking yourself how many employees you're going to need, how much you're going to pay them. Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did putting it together for you. I know I went over this briefly, but if you want more detail, in super fine detail how to do this, drop me a comment down below. I'll reply back to you. And in addition to this video, I figured I'd throw at you some pointers if you don't want to really deal with that. If you're looking at starting a tax preparation business because you want to create a lucrative leveraged business where you're not dealing with employees, equipment, supplies, alright, if you don't want to take on that overhead and get into some debt and have that, stress, which I'm just telling you from experience, it can be really hectic. Literally, I had employees, equipment, supplies going back to my last business, and it was literally a headache. And I transitioned from that, if you hear me out here for a minute, to an online business. And ever since that point, when I came across someone building a multiple 6-figure business on the internet, haven't looked back since. And what I've been able to do to create a full-time income after that, working very part-time to build a business online, it's not average or typical results, but because this person wasn't dealing with that overhead, they weren't doing anything technical, they weren't on the computer all day long, I started to model and copy what they were doing, was able to create those results. So best pointer I could give you if you're looking at starting your own tax preparation business because you only want the leverage and flexibility to do what you want when you want, and you like the idea of being your own boss and in control of your income, if that's the only reason why you're looking at it, best thing you could do before you take that approach is actually start an online business. And connecting with someone, as simple as it sounds, it's the most overlooked thing, but connecting with someone who's building a business online who's willing to connect with you is the best thing that you could do. Alright, so it's what's worked for me. It can definitely work for you. That's my last pointer. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did putting it together for you. Hope you got value out of it. And if you do want to learn a little bit more about how to build a business on the internet, if you're serious, if you're coachable and trainable, alright, connect with me on my site. I'll put a link down below. It's 123marketingtips.com. You'll see a video there from myself and my business partner explaining to you exactly how you can do this to get the results that you want. But not only that, also get a business up and off the ground on the internet in the next couple days or hours. If you wish, we'll share with you that skill. And you'll see testimonials from people who I personally work with, average ordinary folks making $200 a day their very first day, $500 a day their very first day, and consistently doing that. It's pretty cool. It's not average or typical, like I said. They had to learn things, they had to put in work, but if you're not afraid of that, I'll see you on the other side. And most importantly, on the beaches of the world. Take care.